Chonkinfeckle are in the building, folks, so we're going to be talking to them a little bit later on.
That man was just set up.
Bolton FM.
There's no electricity in the band today that I've got in the studio because my guests, of course, today in the studio are a Wigan folk band by the name of Chonkinfeckle. Now, we've already heard from Ron, not Ron manager, Ron Roddy. Hello, Ron. How's it going, lad? You all right? Ron's been in earlier on, got here early. But joining me now, I've got to say, two personal friends of mine as well, is Tim and Les from Chonkinfeckle. Hello, guys.
Hey, morning, sir.
How are we doing?
All right. Not so bad.
So, you're here now in Bolton FM. Now, you are from Wigan. It's well noted that you are
safe?
from Wigan. Well, you are. Right. You've crossed the border.
All
you know
right,
what I mean? It's snowing, so, not everybody will be out in full force today because you've crossed the border. Like. But Chonkinfeckle, then, so if I can just introduce you. Les, where does Chonkinfeckle come from? Because I know you're taxi originally.
Well, some years ago, I used to work in a factory, and in the mornings, I used to go in the factory. The old guys who worked there, they'd say, "What fettle?"
Right.
And they were wondering if you were in a good mood or a bad mood. I didn't realise at the time. What fettle, mate? What fettle? And if they were in a good mood, it would be Chonkinfeckle.
Chonkinfeckle.
And if they're in a bad mood, it'd be no fettle.
Mm.
So that's where it came from, and I started using that as an email address. And I spelt it the way that they used to pronounce it, so it was Chonkinfeckle. But that's not the correct pronunciation would be Chonkinfeckle.
Chonkinfeckle?
In good order.
Chonkinfeckle.
Chonkinfeckle.
Oh, aye. Tim, you like saying "oh, aye" a lot, don't you? Do you know what
I do.
Yeah.
It's my tagline.
So the two of you met, and then you formed a band. Now, Les, you're a taxi driver by day, and I believe your Studio 1 is the taxi where you write most of your songs and whatnot.
Studio A is the taxi, yeah. Studio B is in the house.
I've been in Studio B.
The back room.
Well, not the bedroom. I've been in Studio B. I believe it was a conservatory. Does it double up as a bedroom as well? You know what I mean?
Only when my brother's over from South Africa.
Who I believe might be listening to us right now.
He does, actually. He sent me a message and he said he'd be listening on the internet.
Do you want to give him a mention?
Aye, Tony and Mel and Erin and Tegan.
Hello guys. How's it going?
Keep well, fellas. Yeah. Enjoy that sunshine because it's snowing here.
Keep fixing them boats.
So the two of you met and you decided you've got this band together. Now, it's becoming quite a Wigan iconic band, may I just add, because of one particular song you sang, I'm from Wigan, me. We'll get on to that in a minute.
You can't plan anything like that. Things just happen.
But it's happening for a good reason, and it's the thing I like about you guys is not only are you two down-to-earth fellas, do you know what I mean? But you also write songs about everyday issues and stuff like that, and I think a lot of people can relate to that.
They've all got, all the songs which Les writes, by the way, they've all got an element of the truth running through them.
Yeah.
So they're not fiction. We can't do stuff that's just made up. Les has to have, like, a subject matter.
I usually get the ideas from punters, to be honest, in the taxi.
What, slightly inebriated,
You're with people for a short space of time, so and sometimes they'll say something or they'll remind you of something when you're a kid, and just triggers off a bit of a thought process.
For like however long the journey lasts, for like maybe 10 minutes, maybe half an hour, you're actually stepping into their lives, aren't you?
Correct,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they tell you all sorts, won't they?
Yeah, there's that song, Nothing Like That. That was
that
was a classic.
It's a song about the good old days, but we're not going to do that one.
And I think what also I like is the way Tim sings the songs. It's like you're telling a story. Do you know
that's predominantly what they are.
I mean, I'm not saying you're not a singer or anything, but you're
I'm not. You're quite right, Barry. I'll say it myself. I am not a singer.
No, but you're not like trying to be, belting it out. You actually sing it like you're telling a song, or you're telling a story, don't you?
The lyric is the thing.
Exactly.
The song and the music. We were just discussing this last night. He's underneath, and we're reworking some stuff basically to make the lyric, the story shine through, and just keep the music underlying, really.
So you do gigs now. You don't have to ask for gigs, I must admit. People come to you, don't they? And I believe you've got a gig coming up in Everton shortly. What, the Bents and Bongs Festival, is it? What's all that about?
Well, Bents and Bongs. I don't think it's that kind of bong.
I did think.
I didn't know until a few years ago. If you're from Everton, you're known as a bent. If you're from Tilnsley, you're known as a bong, or vice versa.
Right.
So
Well, I know we've got a couple of people in Atherton listening right now, and a pal of mine called Mr. Jeff Griffiths, who's normally the smartest dressed man in Atherton. Not today, in fact, because today's best dressed man goes to Ron. I've got to admit, Ron Crossland, looking very
Scrubs up
very
well
dapper.
there, Ron.
But I'm sure Jeff will know about that. And if anybody else is listening to in Atherton right now, get in touch with us and let us know what the thing is with that Benson Bongs. So go on, you're doing the festival. When is that?
We're doing the Saturday. I think we're doing the 12 till 2:30 session. So it's the afternoon, and then there's another band on.
Yeah.
But we went last year, and it was absolutely cracking. I've never been to that beer festival before, but it's a really good setup.
It is.
And we did the Boothstown Beer Festival, and it's run by the same organisation. So, and we're doing the Wigan Beer Festival in March.
You are indeed.
There's a thread running through this.
And
there is. I was gonna. I was thinking it. There's a bit of a thread running through it. It involves a copious amount
which has
of
never happened before. We always say at the beginning of the year, we've not many bookings in, start sweating, and then all of a sudden, but the first 4, they've all come in as beer-related sort of a thing.
And speaking of beer, I do believe, or so I read on your Facebook page, Chonkinfeckle Facebook page, that you might have a little bit of a beer being, a Wigan beer being named after you, called Chonkinfeckle of all things.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Martland Mill Brewery, which is a brand new brewery over in the Martland Mill area of Wigan. We got to the Chonkin Tuesday where Ron and his friends come down for a strum.
Mic.
Yeah, I was going to... I'll mention it. You can mention it now if you want, but I was going to come on to that a little bit later.
But it's the pub, the Raven in Wigan, and they had this beer on. And I said, hey, Martland Mill, that's the new one. She goes, yeah. So we got chatting, and we got in contact with Paul Wood, who's the main brewer down there. And we just said, we can do you a song, we'll put it in. All right. And then we can do you a beer.
So, they're going to do you a beer. Now, how does that work? Will you get, copious amounts of free beer every time you turn in a pub and you say, I want a pint of my ale, or what? Do you know
only for wearing this Chonkinfeckle T-shirt. There you go, advertising.
Really? But advertised. If you get on your Facebook page...
But no, I think it's a limited run. I don't think it's going to be anything...
It's a real ale, then?
It is a real ale.
Have you actually had a sample yet? Or
Not yet.
Will there be an opening night?
There is a launch night, which is...
When is that, and where is that, and how much will that be?
No, I can... As I said before, I've printed all these off, and it's come out on 3 pieces of paper. Well, now, Leslie, what have you done?
Well, it's in February, isn't it, for a start?
It is. We're at...
You haven't had any samples of it today, have you, by any chance?
No, not yet. 7th of March.
7th of March.
Martland Mill Brewery. It's £10. It includes a hot pot supper, and you get us 2 Muppets as well. And if you go onto the Martland Mill Brewery website, your contact details are on there. Telephone Paul. But it's basically a couple of miles to the town centre of Wigan.
Yeah. I must admit, it was very smooth the way you were, you memorised all of that. It wasn't as if you were reading it out at all, was it? You know what I mean? That's what I like about you, Tim. You just flows off the tongue, doesn't it?
Yeah. Chip off the old block,
as they say. Do you know what I mean?
It's about time somebody organised a booze up in a brew.
I know. And we're the guys to do it, really.
So, I'm looking now, you've brought a couple of instruments in. There's some kind of maracas. I thought they were a little dumbbell or something when you first came in.
Well, for the
I thought, that's no way to talk about Ron. He's bigger than all 3 of us, you know what I mean? But unless you've got a ukulele there.
The smallest ukulele you could possibly hit.
Now, would there be any chance, you can either do it now if you like, or hit me over the head with it, would there be any chance of a little song of yours or anything like that? I'll tell you what, you can do it in a bit. I can play a record and this, that, and tell them what to... I've noticed you've got a little bit of a mouth organ and that.
I've got to tune this one up.
They don't like the cold weather.
Well, I've got a belting record coming up whilst you do that. Do you like Paul Weller?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like Paul Weller, Ron?
Oh, aye.
Well, folks, but there's plenty of wine in here today, do you know what I mean? We're going to play a song by Paul Weller. This is Broken Stones. Now, coming up after that, I've got, we'll get you to play a song. Now, I believe you do want a little bit of help from Boltonians as well, because you're organising a jam night, aren't you, in Wigan, and you're looking for Wiganers and Bolton people and the surrounding areas, all folk musicians to come down. We'll get on to that later on. So my guests in the studio are Wigan's one and only Chonkinfeckle. And I believe, guys, you've tuned up now and you're going to do us a song.
We're going to do one about Bolton's most famous son, Mr. Fred Dibner.
Oh, aye. Can't beat him in a Fred. He was brilliant, wasn't he?
Oh, he's grand. And this one, it's basically, we nearly met his demise down in Canvey Island in Essex. And this was a chimney that went slightly wrong for him. Mr. Dibner, can you make it fall? 'Cause it's standing over 400 foot tall. It's just 11 inches thick, and it isn't made from brick. Tell us how you feel about concrete and steel. The Great Canvey Island chimney disaster. 1 minute it were there, then it were gone. Well, he loaded up the truck and he headed south. Not one to Luke, a gift horse in the mouth. Well, would 2,000 tons of it sit on props from the pit? Let there be no doubt, 'cause how Bevan had worked it out. The Great Canvey Island chimney disaster. 1 minute it were there, then it were gone. Now the jigger-pick, it went rattling on for days, working true to good old-fashioned ways. When a young chap fresh from school,
You said you're breaking all the rules. To get this job done right, you should be using dynamite.
get away, the Great Canvey Island chimney disaster. 1 minute it were there, then it were gone. They were putting up the marquees and bandstand. There was going to be a party where the dignitaries would stand. But then the chimney formed a crack. Fred landed on his back. He was looking up as it was coming down.
Now it turns out you're no longer in charge when gravity comes into play.
Oh no!
And under the circumstance, well, there wasn't much point trying to run away. Oh,
And they thought they'd seen it all. The proposed direction of fall is exactly where it landed. Just 1 day too soon. The Great Canvey Island chimney disaster. 1 minute it were there, then it were gone. Well, some things are doomed right from the start. And it doesn't really matter how well you played your part. He said,
we've got sod's law to thank, but at least the money's in the bank. And I don't think they'll be having us back.
oh no,
So let's load up with some of that scrap.
the Great Canvey Island chimney disaster. 1 minute it were there, then it were gone. Oh, the Great Canvey Island chimney disaster. When something can go wrong, it will go wrong. When something can go wrong, it will go wrong. It sure will. When something can go wrong, it will go wrong.
Hey!
I missed the intro to that, didn't I, at the beginning?
You did,
Ah,
I
well.
like that. That was
It's
good.
all done and dusted.
Did you like that?
Did you like
that? All right, that was great, that, guys. Thank you very much.
No
So
worries.
Fred Dibner, of course, was an iconic local lad from Bolton, Bolton legend, but a national treasure, of course, as well. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
And it's God rest his soul. There is a statue of Fred that is set up in the town centre of Bolton here. And speaking of the town centre, we're going to be going live to the guys in the town centre shortly and find out what's coming up there this afternoon and what they're up to. So what we're going to do, I'm going to come back with Chonkinfeckle in a second. We're going to have a bit more banter. 96.5 Bolton FM. No, I know. Well, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I've just got to give a mention to some lovely people that's listening in South Africa right now. And I believe is it Richards Bay on a boat, you jammy buggers? Do you know what I mean? Living on a boat. That's not what was wrote down in front of me anyway. So Tony
Keep
Mel,
it clean.
Tony Mel, Tegan, is it Tegan or Tegan?
Tegan.
And Erin. Hello, guys. How's it going? You all right? It's Tony is the brother of Les Hilton. So Tony Hilton, originally from Wigan, now living in Richards Bay on a boat. All right, your Les's wrote this down and he said, you jammy such and such and so and so. Do you know what I mean? And why not? So thanks very much for listening, guys. And I believe when last time you came over to the area, you went looking in search of a certain pie shop and chippy that I've frequented in the past, and sadly it was closed. Next time you're over, give us a shout and I'll take you up there personally and buy you a pie. Not a problem, do you know what I mean? Now that's saying something for me because I'm usually tighter than a submarine door.
Yeah, we'll come with you.
Ah, we will. Family day out.
Right, why not? Yeah. Yeah, why not? So, guys, you're still here. So, as I was saying...
We can't get rid. You've locked the door.
Can't get rid of you. Once in, never to leave. So, as I was saying before, you've got a folk night, jam night coming up, which you've started in the Raven pub in Wigan Town Centre.
Yeah.
And I also believe that you're looking for people from the surrounding areas of Wigan, so all folk musicians in Bolton, in the surrounding areas, in West Orton, Hindley, you know what I mean?
Horwich, anywhere.
Tell us a little bit about that.
It was an idea we had last year, basically, because we used to rehearse twice a week. We thought we'd open it up so we can go down, rehearse a couple of songs, which never happened.
We didn't actually rehearse, by the way. We used to meet, and they used to drink my beer. So
yeah,
that sounds like a plan.
Yeah, no, so Les never comes to it, as I always go to it. So, the Raven, and it's just sort of got a little bit bigger. Where now we have these star nights. We had a young lad the other week made a 240-mile round trip.
Wow!
To come up, and he was only 15. His mother brought him up.
You're joking.
And we've got another band coming down in a few weeks from Morecambe Ironside to it's their debut gig. So they're just coming out trying it out, really. But it's a really good venue. It's a real ale pub as well, and it's not really an open mic night. It's anything ukulele, banjo, mandolin, bass. If you've got one of those instruments, come down, have a play, have a listen.
It's easy to say no guitars.
It is.
So I mean, I've been to one of these jam nights in the past, not a folk jam night, but I've been to certain jam nights in the past in pubs and whatnot, and it all ends up. I mean, in all honesty, sometimes it does end up a little bit clicky. They have a resident band on this, but there's none of that with you guys, is there? Do you know what I mean? It's anybody what comes down, get up and have a do, play the spoons, play the knives and forks, or anything.
They can take it away. We limited it to 2 songs per round, and then it goes round the room, and then you get back up and do your 2 songs, and it just basically gives everyone a fair crack at the whip, and they can do the songs.
Why not, indeed? Well, speaking of songs, well, it's 10 to 12 now, folks.
That's gone quick.
Hoping to get Chonkinfeckle back on a little bit later on with a certain song. And would you be interested in doing a certain song? Well, I think I know the words to this one. If I don't, then I need shooting, basically.
Yeah, you can, but we can
join in on percussion if you've.
I don't see why not. I don't see why not. But if I can just wrap it up in a second. Basically, you've got the Benson Bongs Festival coming up in Atherton.
Yeah, there's another folk one now on the 25th of April. There's a cracking new venue in Wigan, which is the Courts, the old Courts on Crawford Street near the parish church. That's turned itself now into a multi-purpose venue. Yeah, and they're starting a folk day.
Good stuff.
So it's starting at 3:00 on the 25th. There's ourselves, somebody called Deggsy's on, but that's an open mic. So you've got a few performances by bands, then it's an open mic. It's £3, and it's going to be a cracking session.
What about Bolton? You've played Bolton before. Have you any future plans to play any more gigs in Bolton?
If we get asked to play Bolton, we will be in Bolton.
And you could also, this song you've got, I'm from Wigan Me, you could also, I believe in the past, you have turned the words round occasionally. You've played I'm from Lay Me, I'm from Warrington Me. I'm sure you'd do I'm from Bowton Me, wouldn't you?
If it's getting 2 syllables, like Wigan, Bolton, even Luton, but...
I'm from, would you call it Luton or Loughton? Because there is a Lawton in Wigan.
There is
Loughton,
Loughton.
Do you know what I mean?
Aye, anything really.
The best.
What about Barnstaple or something like that?
Yeah, and Cladden, you're a bit knackered with that one, aren't you?
Perfect. Well, so yeah, if anybody wants you, they give you free beer.
I mean, that song's not bad being from Wigan, is it really?
Well, the thing what I like about that song, I mean, yeah, you are from Wigan. Originally, I'm a Wigan lad as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, the thing what I like about that song, I mean, if you take the Wigan out of it, you could be anywhere in the north of England. Do you know what I mean? And it's the tale. What's in it is, everybody can relate to that.
It's all about being kids and being young and trying to avoid having a crack off your mum and dad for telling little white lies.
Well, exactly, yeah, exactly.
Which we still do from time to time.
Mate, I still get a crack off my mum sometimes if I'm a little bit lippy, and I'm 40-year-old.
Well, I get one off the wife now, so it's you never escape that one, pal.
Not at all. So without further ado then, shall we have a bit of that song?
Do you want to do that, Barry? You're a shaky, there. Go on then. See, I'm being a bloke, I can't multitask. Now I'm from Bolton Me, I'm honest as can be. No, I'm not one to tell a lie. Cross me heart, up to die. I'm from Bolton Me, I'm honest as can be. No, I'm not one to tell a lie, and I bet that's just like me. Now I got chucked here to the swimming baths. The attendant screamed in rage. I said all the kids are peeing in the water. He said they were standing on top stage. And my mother, she sent me with a fiver. She said only spend a quid. I said that's strange, I can't find me change. I must have dropped it down the grid. Well, I'm from Bolton, me. I'm honest as can be. No, I'm not one to tell a lie. Cross me heart, hope to die. I'm from Bolton, me. I'm honest as can be. No, I'm not one to tell a lie. And I bet that's just like me. And we got boot by a bobby once for pinching eggs from a bird's nest. He was amazed that we all had the same names and we lived at the same address. And I once gave my teacher a note trying to explain why I'd been off that. She made me write it out 100 times cause I sounded mum and dad. I'm from Bolton, me. I'm honest as can be. No, I'm not one to tell a lie. Cross me heart, hope to die. I'm from Bolton, me. I'm honest as can be. No, I'm not one to tell a lie. And I bet that's just like me. Give it a suck, Leslie. Well, kids today are just the same. They can't lie straight in bed. And as much as I love the little monkeys, I don't believe out they've ever said. Cause they're from Bolton as well. And as far as I can tell, well, they're just as straight as me. They're written off Dalton well. I'm from Bolton, me. I'm honest as can be. No, I'm not one to tell a lie. Cross me heart, hope to die. I'm from Bolton, me. I'm honest as can be. No, I'm not one to tell a lie. And I bet you're just like me. And I bet you're just like me. And I bet you're just like me. No, I'm not one to tell a lie. I bet you're just like me.
Hey! I can't multitask and clap and shake at the same time. Hey! I like that. I was expecting you to do the Wigan one, but I was very impressed that you did the boat.
I've got to concentrate, which is hard for me, you know. Slipping into the old mode.
That was absolutely belting, honestly. I wish I could stay longer, but coming up next is father and son James and Graham Edgington, and they've got their own show to be on, so they'll be pitching me out the studio shortly. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure having you in.
Thank you for having us in.
Thank you very much for that song there. I'm from Bolton, me. Do you know what I mean? We are broadcasting live right now across Victoria Square in Bolton, so I hope one or two people were listening to that. And
they might be having a jig, trying to keep warm in the snow.
Yeah, well, exactly. You can jig along to that. But like you said, the thing is with that song is the fact that, you are from Wigan, but it doesn't matter where you're from with that song. You can, you know what I mean? Everybody can relate to that, can't they?
Yeah, I've been, my brother-in-law, where did he go? He took his Mexico.
Really?
He did, and he took the ukulele, and there's a video of him doing I'm from Wigan, me in Mexico.
Wow.
Basically, wow. I don't think I've told Les that one. It's just come to my mind, that one there, but yeah.
Well, guys, I've got to play one more record now, then that's into the news, and that's it from me, folks. It has been me, Barry Tickler, live with the one and only iconic Chonkinfeckle, and Ron the Roadie as well, who's not said much. He's been filming quite a bit. That's it from me. Coming up after me at 12 o'clock is James and Graham Edgington. Folks, it has been me, Barry Tickler. Join me again next week, live on 96.5 Bolton FM. Thank you very much. See you later. Ta-da.